Are you looking for a classroom management tool? It doesn't take a ton of time, but is still highly effective. You at your wit's end and you're not sure what to try next? You're in the right place. Hi, I'm Amy Murray from Teaching Exceptional Kinders, and I'm so glad you're here so I can share my absolute favorite total game changer classroom management tool with you. All right, before we get too far into things, I will put all the links to the things I'm chatting about today down below in the comments. While you're down there, please like and subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming videos all about making life easier for kindergarten teachers like you. All right, so today we're chatting about my absolute favorite classroom management tool, and it came out of necessity because I was probably like you earlier in my career, and things were like 1 year everything was okay, and so I didn't need to do too much for classroom management. And then the next year it was like, what am I doing with these kids? They won't stop talking. They won't keep their hands to themselves. What do I do? And then suddenly I'm pulling resources from here and there, and the teacher across the hall is doing pennies, and then next door she's using tickets, and then the whole school has this school economy PBIS system, and it's like suddenly everything's complicated. And when it gets too complicated, it's impossible to stay consistent. And when you're not consistent, it doesn't work. So this tool grew from that need to just simplify in a way that was still highly effective. And that is where our Glow and Grow notes were born. Now, it sounds pretty simple, and it is. It's 2 notes. The first note is our Glow notes. I printed them usually on blue or yellow or some bright color. Color doesn't matter. Print them on white. Still works. And a Glow note is celebrating a reason you are proud of a student. And it can be anything, but a reason you're proud, and then sending it home so mom and dad can see. It's a concrete, like, yay, look at me for your students. And then a Grow note is sort of just the opposite. It is addressing an area of concern, but in a positive way. When you label it Grow note, it shows that there's room for growth. This is something they need to work on. So the Grow notes look very similar. I printed them on green because green meant grow to me. You could print them on the same color so that students really don't know who's getting what kind of note that day. It's a little bit more discreet. But like I said, color really does not matter. So the Grow note has space for the student name and date, just like the Glow notes, but it says, today I disrupted learning when. And that is really what behaviors that are impeding the classroom are doing, right? They're disrupting either the learning of that student or everybody else or both. And so here's how we disrupted learning, and there's your choices. And then my consequence was either a note sent home, like this, talking to the teacher, taking a break or a timeout, talking to the principal, or there's a space for other, so you can pick and choose. There's a place for additional information if you want to jot a quick note, but it's not necessarily, depending on the situation. And then a place for the parents to sign and return. You'll notice there is a place for parents to sign and return on the Glow note as well. And that's because we, in our domain 4 of our teacher evaluation system, we had to prove basically that we were professionally communicating with parents. And so I would keep these as proof for that. Isn't that fun that teachers have to prove they're professional? Anyway, nonetheless, that is why I would keep them. And then at the end of the year, I would staple all their Glow notes together and send them home so that kids had them at home. Glow and Grow. Now, in the paid version of these notes, you can change the behaviors. They are editable. You can make them say whatever you'd like. And there are also different clip art versions. Now, the clip art's not movable or changeable just because of their restrictions for terms of use on the clip art, but you can change the wording down below them. So there are at least 3 different options for the pictures, and then you can change the words. You can also take off the parent signature line if that's not something you're interested in having on the notes. Same thing for the Grow notes. In the paid versions, you can edit the text under the pictures. You can edit the consequences to be whatever you would like them to be, and you can change some of the other text as well. so that you can make these work for your classroom. So let's say you have some rules in kindergarten, like be prepared, be safe, be whatever your rules are. You can put those underneath the pictures, and that way you can just reinforce your classroom rules however you want to handle it, but you can make it work for you. I do have a totally free option of these. If you want to check that out below, if you sign up for the email list, I can send you the freebie, but you cannot change anything on the free version. So I will link both down below. Now, how did we use these? So I would send one glow note at least per day, sometimes more, just depends on the day. And we would get all packed up and lined up for dismissal, and then the kids, if I forgot, the kids would remind me, who got the glow note today? Who's getting a glow note? And honestly, this is how fast you can fill it out. Okay, so have my note, grab a pen, let's say, we'll just use my name, Amy, the date, and let's just say she worked hard today, and then way to go. You could elaborate if you wanted to there, but you don't have to. That is how fast you can fill one of them out, put it in the child's book bag, send it home. Now, we use Seesaw as our parent communication app, and so I would if I had time, I would snap a picture of the kiddo holding their note and send it home to parents, just because then they would know it's going home, and it's even more excitement to build up to that. But the note itself is highly motivating. Goes in the backpack, and moms and dads would get it. I would see these posted on Facebook. Parents were so excited that their kid was recognized for positive behavior in the classroom. It goes such a long way to building the relationship both with the student, the kid, and the parent. It sends this message that you care enough to take time out of your day, even if it's only 30 seconds, to send home a positive note and celebrate their child. Now, word of caution, I would always try to send a glow note home before I had to send a grow note home. Lots of reasons here. And listen, I have been in your shoes because I know you're thinking of a kid right now who it would be extremely difficult to find a reason to send a glow note home. We've all had those kiddos. We've all had those students. Finding something like Johnny kept his hands to himself today. Johnny raised his hand during morning meeting. Whatever, one little thing. And sending that positive note home before you send a grow note home can go so far. Because if the only communication a parent is getting from you are these grow notes, it's going to feel like A, you don't like their kid, B, you're attacking their kid, and it's just not going to work. But these are worded in such a way that it's more positive it's not positive feedback, but it's feedback and not a punishment. And they will quickly lose their effectiveness if you're just sending a grow note home every day. Now, the other option is, if you have to send a grow note home, be watching that student to earn a glow note in the next few days, so that you're still showing that you are watching for good things, not just trying to catch them being bad. Yeah, I think that's it. So the best part about these notes is you can print them and use them this afternoon. If you're watching it in the morning, you can use them tomorrow. Print it. It, like I said, doesn't have to be on bright color paper. It can be any color paper. But print them and use them. And watch your kids transform. They want a glow note. They want to go home and celebrate their positive behavior. And once they see other kids doing it, it's just contagious. I mean, my students would cheer for each other at the end of the day. They couldn't wait to see who earned a note. Now, the other thing is, I did have one kiddo in particular who I can remember quite well. He was not a native English language speaker. Actually, he was from another country entirely, and their cultural norms were not the same as ours. So he had a lot of trouble assimilating into our classroom, but he wanted so badly to earn one of those notes. And so for him, he earned one of these a glow note every day that he made good choices. So he had like a little list, and if he made his good choices, he called it a blue penguin note, because mine had penguins. Penguins were my favorite. And I get blue penguin, and he was so excited to earn that every day. And the kids would cheer for him, even though he got one almost every day. Once it started to be reinforcing for him, they didn't mind that he got one every day. It's sort of like kids just are so accepting. Isn't that amazing? We should all be more like them. And they would just accept that he would earn one every day if he met his goal, and then the other kids earned them sporadically. Now, I'm very type B. I did not have time in my day to keep track of who got a note what day. But you definitely could, keep your checklist running so you make sure that everybody gets one, if that's something that is important to you. I just tried to make sure everyone got one, and somebody could get one on Monday and again on Tuesday, and that was okay as long as we mixed it up. And like I said, you could pick one kid a day, you could pick 5, whatever you have the capacity for, and it doesn't have to be the same every day. But if you use them frequently and consistently, they can be so very motivating to your students. I cannot wait to hear how these are working for you in your classroom. Please leave a comment down below and let me know, or tag me on Instagram. Here is all my info. I love to see these in action, and I'm telling you, your students and families will love them too. All right, you'll find all the links down below. While you're down there, please like and subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Until next time, have an exceptional day.